Hi, I'm Mark, and welcome to What's Brewing. Today we're sitting down with Jim Gonsoulin with the Juice Plus Company out of Loreauville, Louisiana for part 2 of his interview. But before we get into it, let's go ahead and roll that beautiful B-roll. Jim, thank you so much for joining us again.
You're welcome, Mark.
So in case people didn't get to watch the last episode yet, tell them who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm Jim Gonsoulin from Loreauville, Louisiana, and I'm an affiliate with the global health food company, the Juice Plus Company.
Awesome. So on our last interview, and if you haven't watched it, the link's below, in the description below. We started discussing about, you talked about your journey to where you're at. You talked about, we talked about whole foods, talked about omegas, and some of the challenges in South Louisiana. Yeah. So I guess in what ways, what's one of the ways that we can bridge the gap between what we were discussing?
Yeah, Mark, you said that well, because there is a gap. My friend Dr. Clark says everybody's got a gap. Some is paper thin and some is eye thin. So it's a matter of learning how we can bridge that gap between what we are eating and what we should eat. You know, the measurements are, the recommendations are to eat anywhere from 7 to 9 servings of raw fruits and vegetables every day. And I didn't know that when I started this journey. So the challenge is, how do we eat in whatever culture you live in, and how do you get the nutrients that your body needs? It's really about what you need rather than what you want. You know, and Dr. Freeman's helped me to understand that, because we all want certain things, be it by taste, acquisition, or whatever, but your body needs certain things. So to bridge the gap is a way to get it in concentrated form to allow you to go from what you might be missing to what your body really needs. So that's what bridging the gap's all about.
Okay, and I want to kind of tie some things together. I heard you mention Dr. Freeman. We did an interview with him before. So how are you and Dr. Freeman connected? Well,
in regard to health, there's a lot of different areas to look at, and people often, like Dr. Freeman, Dr. Clark, whatever, have a patient base that needs some education. What I do is come in as a wellness coordinator to help facilitate the knowledge that goes with what they recommend. And if we know why, what's the phrase? If you know better, you do better. And that's the foundation of people being able to go back and actually apply it in their life. The lifestyle adjustment is probably as big a challenge as the food adjustment, because in the culture we live in South Louisiana, people love to eat. You know, there's gumbo cooking, I'm going, Mark, I'll be honest with you. But I try to do it in a way that's not all the time or as healthy a gumbo as you can. My wife has learned to cook Cajun food in a healthy way, believe it or not.
As long as you're not using quinoa instead of rice, I think you're good.
Well, I'm actually a fan of quinoa, but brown rice is pretty good too. Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So over here, I guess at Access Medical, at Dr. Freeman's, you're the wellness coordinator for
Right.
And so you kind of help position their plans, like their health journey plans when it comes to food.
Right. Yeah, Dr. Freeman gives them specific advice. And again, it's that education component. He and I are working together to produce content, video content that will allow people to go back. You know, we go to the doctor, you don't necessarily remember everything that happened. So the educational component of what we do is going to help people understand how they can make that shift. It's kind of like a catalyst, pointing them in a good direction so that they can go back and live what it is he's recommending.
Gotcha. So give me an idea of a plan. I want to kind of put you on the spot, if you don't mind. All right. So let's say a patient comes in, they have blood pressure issues.
Yeah.
They're borderline diabetic, and they have cholesterol problems. Which is
not uncommon.
Not uncommon in our area, as you said, because we have a lot of really good food, really salty food.
Right.
What would be some of the recommendations for a person to make a shift diet-wise for them?
Right. It's actually diet. You know, when I was playing sports in college, we ate as much as we could eat to keep our weight up, keep what we thought was our strength up. Well, the important part is nutrition. So people looking to manage their weight or manage their health, diet and nutrition is the most important part of it. It's 80% of the equation. I didn't know that. I thought it was the opposite. Okay, so I didn't realize omega was that important to the body, but every cell in your body needs omega. It's where you're getting it from. So in regard to a plan, he might say, listen, movement and nutrition, or movement and diet, is going to be an important part of maintaining your health. So the movement part, again, those are basic body movements that he can train people in. The lifestyle part of it is probably the biggest challenge. So ongoingly, helping people understand what they can do, making small changes to head them in the right direction. Again, when you know better, you do better. Mm-hmm. When you start seeing results, like a lot of us have, you start wanting to do the same things that helped you produce those results. So ongoing coaching, support, building a relationship with them based on their confidence in him, but understanding that, well, how do I do what he said to do? Mm-hmm. There's the support, there's the education that allows people to make those choices. And what I've noticed about our culture, Mark, the Cajun culture is all in. When they see results, they keep doing it, mm-hmm. right? I don't know any part-time hunters. You know any part-time hunters?
No, I don't.
You either hunt all the time or you don't hunt. So that's a benefit in regard to our culture. We actually utilize that to help people understand how they can continue to make those changes when they experience a better lifestyle that helps them to be healthier. One of my commitments is to my family. I have 3 children. My wife and I have 3 children together and 7 grandchildren. And I changed my focus years ago from what am I trying to avoid, i.e. my family health problems, to what can I enjoy. My youngest granddaughter is 8. I'd like to be at her graduation, and I'd like to remember I was there. You know, so things that I look at legacy-wise are what keep me motivated to learn the right things and really give people support and guidance to do the same.
Well, Jim, it's been great getting to sit down and talk to you about this today.
Thank you, Mark. Great to have you with us.
No problem.
Appreciate your time.
Well, that's going to do it for us here over at What's Brewing. If you like what you saw here, don't forget to hit that like button, crush that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell to keep up to date with videos that we release. But until the next one, have a good one.